Hello friends, Tom Downey here for a special edition of the Cowboys Report. It's the Dez Bryant edition presented by BETDSI, the internet's #1 sportsbook. So if you haven't seen it already, well, Dez has kickstarted those rumors of him going back to the Cowboys in a major way. Even with a typo in his tweet, he says, "I'll rather it be the Dallas Cowboys, but he'll be ready to play anywhere else." So what Dez is saying is, he's at least showing interest in wanting to come back to the Dallas Cowboys. Now, in the past, I've said that I didn't think there was any chance that this was going to happen. I didn't see it going down. I might actually be wrong on this one. I'll gladly admit that if that does end up being the case, because I will be floored and stunned just as much as I'm sure many of you will be. So, Dez has tweeted about playing for the Cowboys, and that's noteworthy for one big reason. It's the first time either side has showed any real interest. It's still a long shot, but this is a noteworthy change in at least one of the parties' mindsets. Now, perhaps you're thinking, oh, Tom, what about when Stephen Jones tweeted out the one thing where he said, or said the one thing that he didn't shut the door with Dez Bryant? That's true, even though that was really just GM speak of Stephen Jones saying, oh, we're going to look at all different avenues, which is exactly what they've said multiple times before. And Bryant is still tight with Jerry Jones. Now, any potential reunion, and again, I still think it's a long shot, but it's far more likely than it was before. In fact, I'll go ahead and give it the 1 star now instead of the fake news I'd been giving it, so I'll change my tune on that one. It still has several roadblocks. For starters, Dez has still ripped the coaching staff. Then again, so did Bryce Butler, and Bryce Butler has returned to the Cowboys. Dez also ripped guys like Sean Lee, and that's not a good sign to rip your team captain and then expect to come back. The Cowboys still have a log jam at receiver, although if you bring back Dez, I'm sure you can figure out what to do with the other guys there. Some potential positive influence there is that Linehan seems to have lost some influence. Doesn't seem like he's calling the shots maybe as much as he and Garrett did earlier on in the offseason, and the Cowboys do still need help at wideout. And despite Dez ripping some of the players like Sean Lee, I think that maybe I overestimated how much of an impact that could have if this does end up going down again. I still think it's a bit of a long shot for Dez to return to the Cowboys, but I do think that the Cowboys could use a Dez Bryant type player. Yeah, he's not the same guy he was in, say, 2014. He's probably not even, he might not even be the same guy he was in 2016, but look at the Cowboys wide receiver depth chart. The issue for the passing attack has been that there is nobody opposing defense's fear. And maybe the Cowboys have come to realize, hey, maybe we did need Dez Bryant. Maybe he's not going to get the same volume of targets. Maybe the time apart will help Dez realize I can't be the dominant guy that I used to be. I can still help a team win. But Cole Beasley is a good player, even a great slot guy. Doesn't strike fear into defenses. Allen Hurns doesn't. Gallup doesn't. Thompson doesn't. T. Will definitely doesn't. Bryce Butler can't even get on the field. So in terms of if they should do it, type 1 for yes, type 2 for no, if you think the Cowboys should bring back Dez Bryant. Now, in the past, I've said, I don't know. I don't know if you want to bring him back into the locker room, given what he said about other players. I think that's still an issue, but maybe it's not as much as I thought it was. And from a talent perspective, yes, you could definitely use a player of Dez Bryant's caliber. Now, whether or not he will come back to the Cowboys is a whole nother story. And the odds to sign Dez Bryant via BETDSI plus 1,200. So if you think Dez is going to come back to Dallas, those are really good odds. I just checked on that about 10 minutes ago. They're still updated. So if you think Dez will come back to the Cowboys, go to chatsports.com/bet. Use promo code Cowboys120. Get yourself a 120% deposit bonus. Put down $100. They'll give you $120 for free for a grand total of $220. Go put down 10 on Dez Bryant, win $120 yourself, and then you're rolling in the house money. With that said, I'm still not convinced this is going to be the most likely outcome for Dez Bryant. And it does take two to tango, and the Cowboys still haven't shown a ton of interest. Now, I think you can make a strong argument that the Cowboys should bring back Dez Bryant. I don't know if they're going to, though. I would be okay with it. I still worry a little bit about the locker room stuff. I worry about Scott Linehan having some issues and maybe throwing a fit there, but I think he'd be okay. It's definitely no longer in the fake news category like I'd put it in earlier. I'll take the L on that one. I'll put it as a 1-star rumor for now. I still think it's a long shot, but I do think there is at least a chance. So yes, Cowboys fans, I'm telling you there's a chance that Dez Bryant could re-sign with the Dallas Cowboys, even though I don't think it's the most likely outcome.